Tampa Bay. Buckle up. The first unofficial depth chart of the preseason is here, and it's already turning heads. This isn't just a list of names on paper. This is the first real glimpse at who's earning trust, who's fighting for their spot, and who might shock the NFL this year. One chart, and already we can feel the battles brewing, the rivalries heating, and the dreams taking shape. If you're a Bucs fan, you're about to find out exactly what's going down behind the scenes before Week 1 even arrives. All right, fans, the moment has finally arrived. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers' first unofficial depth chart of the preseason has dropped, and it's not just another piece of paper. This is our very first real look into the team's plans, the coach's thinking, and the pecking order as the battle for roster spots begins. Preseason Week 1 is here, and for some players, this is where careers take off or fade away. Let's break it down position by position, starting with the quarterbacks. No surprises at the top. Baker Mayfield is locked in as QB1. This is his team right now, his huddle, his offense to command. Behind him, Kyle Trask holds the backup spot, ready to step in if called. Connor Bazelak slides into QB3, and then we've got Michael Pratt and Teddy Bridgewater listed in the other category. Now, Pratt hasn't practiced a single snap in training camp yet, and Bridgewater just joined the team, so it's no shock they're starting from the bottom. But here's the question every Bucs fan is wondering. By the third preseason game, could Teddy climb to QB2? This is a veteran who's been in big games before. I'll admit it. I'm a Teddy believer, and I wouldn't rule it out. Now the running backs, again, no big surprises. Bucky Irving leads the way, showing the coaches he's ready to be the guy. Right behind him, Rachaad White takes RB2, with Sean Tucker at RB3. In the other category, we've got Josh Williams and Owen Wright, still grinding for their shot. Moving to tight ends, Cade Otton stays firmly at TE1, with Payne Durham at TE2. O'Keefe holds TE3, while Devin Culp and Tanner Tala are in the other group. Honestly, I'm a little shocked Culp hasn't jumped to TE3 yet. He's been making noise in camp, but it looks like the Bucs still value Coe's blocking skills. This is a position battle to watch closely. Culp has the talent to force a shakeup. Now let's talk offensive line, starting with the starters, Tristan Wirfs, Ben Bredeson, Graham Barton, Cody Mauch, and Luke Goedeke. No surprises there, that's your wall-protecting Baker. But the second string? That's where it gets interesting. Charlie Heck is your backup left tackle, and he's likely the Week 1 starter if Wirfs isn't ready. Backup left guard is Elijah Klein, a versatile player who can slide to either guard spot or even play center. Speaking of center, Jake Majors, the undrafted rookie from Texas, is holding that role for now. Suo Opeta shows up in the mix, but keep an eye on Raekwon O'Neal. He's sitting as backup right guard, and that could be his ticket to the 53-man roster. And at right tackle, Mike Jordan steps in. Out of all these backups, besides maybe Heck, Jordan brings some of the most real NFL starting experience, and that matters. When injuries hit, guys like him are the difference between a solid pocket and chaos. This chart may just be unofficial, but make no mistake, this is the first snapshot of the Buccaneers' blueprint for 2025. And trust me, there are going to be changes before Week 1. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have released their first unofficial depth chart of the 2025 preseason, and while there aren't many jaw-dropping surprises, there are definitely a few interesting nuggets worth pointing out. Let's break it down position by position. Quarterbacks. QB1, Baker Mayfield. QB2, Kyle Trask. QB3, Connor Bazelak. Other, Michael Pratt, Teddy Bridgewater. No shock here, Baker is the clear starter with Kyle Trask as the backup. Bazelak takes the third spot for now, while Pratt and Bridgewater are in the other category. Pratt hasn't practiced yet in camp, and Bridgewater only just joined the team. The big question, by the third preseason game, could Bridgewater leapfrog into the QB2 spot? I'm a Teddy guy, so I'm not ruling it out. Running backs. RB1, Bucky Irving. RB2, Rachaad White. RB3, Sean Tucker. Other, Josh Williams. Owen Wright. No surprises here either. Irving and White will be the primary 1-2 punch, with Tucker providing depth. Tight ends. T1, Cade Otton. T2, Payne Durham. E3, O'Keefe. Other, Devin Culp, Tanner Tala. I'm a little surprised Devin Culp hasn't cracked T3 yet, especially with his strong camp performance. The team clearly values O'Keefe's blocking, but this could still be a position battle to watch. Offensive line. Starters. LT, Tristan Wirfs. LG, Ben Bredesen. C. Graham Barton. RG. Cody Mach. RT. Luke Godick. No surprises here. This has been the expected starting five. Offensive line, backups, and depth. Key backups: Charlie Heck T, Elijah Klein G/C, Jake Major C, Sua Opeta G, Raekwon O'Neal G/T, Mike Jordan G/T. Third unit: Benjamin Chukwuma T, Ben Scott G, Sua Opeta C, Luke Haggard T, Tyler Mullen T. Other: Lorenz Metz T. The versatility in the backup O-line group is notable. Klein can play all three interior spots, Heck can play both tackles, O'Neal and Jordan can swing between guard and tackle, and Opeta is even working at center now despite being signed as a guard. From this depth group, I think Chukwuma and Opeta have the best shot at making the final 53. Wide receivers. First trio: Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Jalen McMillan. Second trio: Emeka Egbuka, Trey Palmer, Tez Johnson. Third trio: Rakim Jarrett, Sterling Shepard, Dennis Houston. Other: Garrett Green. McMillan's placement with the starters is interesting, but I think Egbuka has the talent to move into that spot sooner rather than later. Trey Palmer being in the second group is a great sign for his roster chances. It feels like WR5 and WR6 will come down to Palmer, Tez Johnson, and Sterling Shepard, with two of them likely making the cut. This is just the first unofficial depth chart, so expect plenty of movement over the next few weeks, especially at WR and backup QB. No surprises up front, Kalijah Cansey, Vita V, and Logan Hall headline the starters. Behind them, Greg Gaines, CJ Brewer, and Adam Gotsis make up the second trio. Rookie Elijah Roberts sits in the third trio, which isn't shocking given the team's habit of slotting rookies lower early on. If the Bucs keep 5 defensive linemen, the last spot could come down to Roberts versus Brewer/Gotsis. With 6 kept, Roberts likely claims 1, and the final spot may go to Gotsis. Others like Mike Green, Eric Banks, and Devin J. Thomas are fighting long odds. Linebacker picture. Projected starters: Yaya Diaby, Servazier Dennis, Lavoni David, and Hassan Reddick. Dennis is the clear LB2 next to David. The second wave: Chris Braswell, Anthony Walker Jr., Darian Jones, and Anthony Nelson, look safe for the roster. That's 4 edge rushers: Reddick, Diaby, Braswell, Nelson, and 4 inside linebackers: David, Dennis, Jones, Walker Jr. The bubble group: Jose Ramirez, Martez Watts, Antonio Greer Jr., and Nick Jackson, could get interesting if Tampa carries a 5th inside linebacker. Nick Jackson has impressed in camp and may have the inside track. John Bullock and Warren Peoples round out the other category, but are long shots. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers depth chart is taking shape, and some players are climbing, some are falling, and a few are hanging on by the thinnest of threads. The battles in the secondary? Absolutely fierce. The safety room? Loaded but cutthroat. And on special teams, a surprise name might just secure his NFL dream. Linebacker depth and edge rusher battle. If Tampa decides to carry 6 pass rushers, the last 2 spots could belong to Jose Ramirez and Martez Watts. Both bring raw energy and speed, but neither has a guaranteed future here. One misstep and they might be practice squad bound. Warren Peoples? He's giving it everything, but right now, he feels more like a developmental project than a roster lock. Cornerback room. At the top, Jamal Dean and Carlton Davis are locked in as CB1 and CB2. Behind them, Benjamin Morrison and Jacob Parrish look like the trusted backups for the outside spots. That alone speaks volumes. The staff clearly sees both as reliable insurance. Bryce Hall and Josh Hayes are next in line, and Hayes is quietly moving ahead of names like Kendall Vilder, Roman Paredes, and Tyreek Thunberg. If the Bucs keep 5 outside corners, the group could be Dean, Davis, Morrison, Hall, and Hayes. Parrish likely slides into a nickel role, with Vilder competing for slot depth. Roman and Tyreek? More likely fighting for practice squad survival. Safety group. No surprises at the top. On one, Winfield Jr. and Tyke Smith are your starters. Christian Izien and Kayvon Merriweather slot in as backups. Then there's J.J. Roberts. If the Bucs keep a 5th safety, Roberts might have the inside track. He's quietly been consistent and dependable all camp. Rashad Wisdom is right behind him, while Shiloh Sanders finds himself in the others category, a clear sign the coaches may not see him as a roster lock. Special teams, shakeup. Kick return duties, Sean Tucker and Rashad White. Punt returns, Trey Palmer. And here's the kicker: that role could be the very thing that locks Palmer's spot on the roster. It's the kind of special teams value coaches love. Final take. From backup offensive line surprises to underdog fights in the secondary, this roster is starting to tell a story of opportunity, risk, and the relentless battle to make it in the NFL. Bryce Hall's steady climb, Nick Jackson's linebacker fight, J.J. Roberts jumping Shiloh Sanders. Every position group has a war going on. So now I'm asking you, Bucs fans, where is your confidence right now? Rate this roster from 1 to 10 in the comments, and tell me which player you think is about to shock the NFL.